To another show, Jammin with J Money, man. Saturday, we're trying to get to some cheddar. Saturday NBA playoffs. So we're gonna recap yesterday's games as well. Win or lose, we always here. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hit the like button and subscribe if you like the content. Make sure you go to SBR Picks /NBA. Check out all the articles that we have over there. Whatever sport you like to bet, we have free plays over there and write-ups to go with it, man. So make sure you click the link in the description. Today we got my guy Teddy Covers with us and Junior Browne. What's up, Teddy? We missed you, brother. Everything good with you?
It's great to be back. Missed you guys too, and excited to talk some NBA. It's been running pretty good for what it's worth, so hopefully we can share that today and keep it rolling.
I'm trying, man. I hope so. Let's try to keep it rolling, guys. What's up, Junior? Everything good with you, bro?
Yeah, man. Hit that play yesterday. One official play on the show yesterday. Milwaukee first half. Wish I would have taken Miami full game like we kind of talked about, but I just didn't want to be too greedy. So I stuck with that play. But once that ticket cashed early because it's a first half play, decided we were pretty bullish going back and forth with the chat yesterday about how Houston was a play. Put a little sprinkle on Houston +4. Very, very good night last night. +4 in the first half, obviously. Very, very good night last night.
Hell yeah, it was, man. It was a damn good game. That Rockets game was a real nice one, man. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens to go on with that one. We saw Anthony Davis have a lot of trouble with PJ Tucker there. PJ Tucker was even guarding LeBron as well, but Anthony Davis scored 0 points on PJ Tucker. LeBron had 0 points in the fourth quarter. Absolutely terrible showing, in my opinion, for the Lakers. You come out with all that rest, which I can't say that I knew that was going to happen. I thought they would look a little bit better, and they showed more fight than that. The game was close there in the third quarter. You just let them blow you out pretty much in the fourth quarter. It's kind of suspect for the Lakers. They didn't show. I don't know about you guys, but they didn't show any heart to me. The players out the bench, like they kind of just gave up. Their offense just. We saw that it was they were not in rhythm whatsoever. The Houston Rockets cast the trifecta, man. I'm kind of pissed I wasn't on the first quarter, but did cast the first half full game. And I wasn't on any money line. I just took the spread. I'm happy with that. The Rockets ended up getting it done 112 to 97 as James Harden had 25 points in the first half. He was feeling himself like they kind of Houston like they was kind of saving themselves, Teddy, for this Lakers series. Did you watch that game? What you think about that? How LeBron and AD? We know they're the two that's going to take the Lakers wherever they want to go. If they're not looking good, it's going to be a long series.
Did I watch that game? Of course. Of course I watched that game. It's game one of a playoff series. You don't miss it. And a couple of things really stood out to me. First of all, the Rockets were able to control the game despite the fact they weren't raining threes. They hit threes. They had 14 of them for the game, but it wasn't one of these games where Houston's hitting 23-pointers, and that's why they were able to win. But the bigger, there's a couple of huge issues. One, the Lakers really struggled with the Rockets beat to turnovers, to their own ball movement. All the comments after the game were, you can look at it on film, but until you actually face it in a game, and you see how the Rockets are getting their arms out and making it difficult for the Lakers to pass the ball around. And the quotes for both LeBron and Anthony Davis after the game were, hey, now that we've seen it, we'll be better against this defense next time. But you talk about Davis and LeBron. In my mind, the series isn't about Davis and LeBron. It's about the supporting cast for the Lakers. Can Danny Green hit shots? Can Caldwell Pope hit shots? Can Morris step up? Can Kuzma step up? Is Rondo going to bring something now that he's back for LA? The role players for the Lakers have got to step up. And last night, I can't think of one of them that did.
Junior, I'm gonna let you go. But Junior, what do you think about this? Because we know that the role players have to step up. But Junior, me and you talked about this yesterday. If AD does not go off in this series, I know it's bigger than LeBron and AD, but I really do think it's this simple. If AD goes off, the Lakers look totally different. If he lets PJ Tucker, like we just talked about it on the show yesterday, PJ Tucker not letting him, he's getting up in his face. He's not giving you that shot. It make you pretty much have to drive past him, and they have the quickness to keep up with it. I really do think Anthony Davis is the single key player in this series. If he balls out, goes for 35 and 10, average that, they'll look good. If not, he had 25 last night, but still, if you really look, Anthony Davis wasn't locked in last night. I know you got more insight on this, Junior, because this is what we've been focusing in on, the whole Anthony Davis matchup.
I just think you just nailed it right there with something that you just said. Why is Anthony Davis trying to beat PJ Tucker off the dribble? Why not just get him the ball in the post and just turn around and shoot it right over him every single time? How is PJ Tucker going to stop that? Some basketball is really, really simple until you make it complicated. Like, it's kind of like yesterday we talked about Coach Bud. Hey, Coach Bud, newsflash. Stop sitting Giannis in the second half, dummy. Brooke Lopez played more minutes than Giannis. What the hell is going on in Milwaukee, dog? It doesn't make any sense to me, man. Like, what are you resting for a vacation? Like, come on, man. Just use your common sense. So I think Anthony Davis needs to get his ass in the post and make PJ Tucker try to guard him 5 feet away from the basket and see how that works. That's not possible? And by the way, Frank Vogel needs to get over his dislike for Kuzma. I know Kuzma doesn't play great defense according to Vogel, even though Kuzma looks like he's playing better defense to me than he did at the beginning of the season. Why is Kuzma playing 28 minutes? He's your third best player. Get your best players on the court. It's crunch time. It's playoffs. It's win or go home. Come on, man. I'm sick of this nonsense.
Yeah, Davis got 6 inches on him as well, man. So I know my girl, she looking like, ain't that guy a lot taller than him? Why didn't he just get it? Why didn't he just go in the hole, go lay it in? I'm like, I don't care. I'm on the Rockets. No, but the last thing I got to say about this game, the Rockets really have a big four in this matchup. It's really like and Kuzma is their third best option. They just hadn't realized it. I don't know why. Or like you say, it seems like when the coach doesn't like a player, it kind of skews what they do out there on the court. They just don't like them. But I mean, I almost go as far as the Rockets have a big five with Covington, Tucker, Gordon, Harden, and Westbrook, the way they was playing last night. I mean, it just seemed like they got more punch, more dogs, more ballers than them. So we'll see. And especially, I mean, like Tay say, the threes weren't even really falling last night. So when they get to falling, it's really gonna get ugly. But the Heat, the boys smack up the Bucks there, man. They outscored. It was a historic game, man. The Bucks historically lost. They got outscored 40-13 in the fourth quarter. Outscored by 27 points, the most fourth quarter deficit in playoff history. You know what I'm saying? Ever since the shot clock here, like 1955. The Bucks are terrible, man. I'm glad that the Bucks first half was the play yesterday, man. I'm so glad I didn't take them full game. That would have took years off of my life right there. My guy Teddy cashed the +5 there pretty easy there. Teddy, what you think about that game?
I mean, I'm not surprised it played out how it did. You know, we saw you talk about, and I don't know who I'm pointing the finger at, but a year ago, Milwaukee went up 2-0 on Toronto and then got faced with adversity and got swept out of the playoffs. And here, right from game one, I thought the series was mispriced. You know, I thought it was remarkably mispriced. You know, my number and the betting market. I don't see 6-point difference between my number and the betting market number. And for the first 3 games, I had a 6-7 point difference, depending on with my Milwaukee laying between 5 and 6 in all 3 of those games. And my number was Miami 1 in all 3, Miami -1. So it was a little bit of a shock to me to see the markets not adjust at all until we've seen here. But it's a Bucks team that when they've gotten punched in the face, they haven't punched back. And we saw it last night in the fourth quarter. They didn't, you know, sometimes you see that playoff LeBron look, you know what I'm talking about? Or that went, and I haven't seen that dialed in, like I'm putting the team on my back. There's no freaking way we're going to lose. We haven't seen that from Milwaukee yet. And the supporting cast around Giannis has proven now 2 years in a row in the postseason to be it's a regular season team, not a playoff team. I'm not surprised at all that Miami's doing what they're doing. I've been on them since the very beginning of the playoffs, and no team in the NBA has made me happier over the course of the last few weeks. Although I don't think Miami's going to knock off the Boston-Toronto winner. The time to back these. This reminds me. I don't know if you remember. It's 10 or 11 years ago. The Nuggets. Where no one was talking about it. They made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals. They won and covered, I think, their first 9 playoff games.
When they had Melo and Iverson?
Yeah,
or before
maybe.
that.
It was like 09. I had them from the beginning of the playoffs every single game until they reached the conference finals, and they finally faced a better team and lost. That'll happen to Miami. Miami's not going to the finals, I don't think. But they're ride them while they're hot.
I don't know, man. They match up with the Celtics. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, they got the bigs. They got the 3-point shooters. They got some defensive guys. When you really look at how the Heat are built, they're built for the postseason. When you have a superstar like Jimmy Butler that's going to get on his team's ass and they're going, you know what I'm saying, they can possibly take over the game. You got guys like Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, who never quit, or when they start hitting them threes, it doesn't matter. We saw it yesterday. If you could be up 12, they hit a couple of them threes. They got the momentum. it's fucking. I said, oh boy, I saw it coming, man. I did. I saw it coming. So that's enough about yeah. Or Junior, what did you think about that game yesterday? Heat versus Bucks. Bucks looked like they were in control there. Like I say, it was up 12 points going into the fourth quarter, and then they just. I don't even want to say what they did on themselves.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's. I've been saying this since game 2, I think. So in game 1, the pace was like 96.7. Game 2, I said they got to pick up the pace. The pace was even slower. I said, okay, well, in game 3, they have no choice. They're down 0-2. Game 3 was the slowest of the 3. So this series is Miami's completely controlling the series. They're controlling the pace. Obviously, they got down 10 points. Like at late in the third quarter, and they started off with a deficit. But I mean, I just think that it's the same thing that we've been saying the whole time. Miami just has a lot of dogs, but I actually kind of want to touch on that, not to, sound like a broken record, but this is what I mean about minutes distribution in the playoffs. Miami had 6 dudes play 30 plus minutes, and everybody else played 10 minutes or less. You got to shorten your bench in the playoffs. The Bucks are still playing way too many guys for way too long, and it's until they figure that out. Well, I mean, it's kind of really too late. What are they going to win 4 games in a row? I don't see it. So
they're ready to go home now.
It's done now, right? So
yeah.
Like I said, when Giannis is not the leader in minutes on your team, you're obviously very confused, or you're winning in a blowout. Those can only be the 2 scenarios.
Got you. Yeah, the Heat, man, they've looked impressed. I got people calling on phone and stuff, man. I'm gonna have to call them boys back later. I'm trying to get to some cheddar right now.
But it's all good though. I tweeted out last night Giannis in his new Raptors jersey, so we're ready for Giannis.
I don't know about all that.
We're ready for you.
Hey,
Pascal,
you stopped it.
Pascal's the sidekick. He needs a Batman.
You leaving Toronto anyway, Junior. You stopped that, and I need Giannis. Hold on, Junior. I need Giannis to come over here to the Mavs. He say he like Luka and Porzingis the way they play.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
I need Giannis over here and season tickets for everybody. I'm in there every game. I told my girl we going to the OKC Thunder games, the Rockets games, the Spurs when they play Spurs. Everybody. Need Giannis on the team, and we did the Mavs going to the championship. We already a problem right now. You dig what I'm saying? I wish we could just get them. Wait till he, wait till he go. We don't need to trade no players away, but we need Giannis, Luka, and Porzingis. We'll build the rest of the team around there. All right, I get a little too off topic, but you started it, Junior. You started, but let's get to today's games, man. That's what y'all here for. The Raptors versus the Celtics, game 4, huge game. The Raptors pretty much did everything that they could last game and still pretty much needed a game-winning shot to win that game. Very alarming, in my opinion. Down 10. You're down. It's game 3 or whatever. You're down 10 at the half, 67-57. How? Every single quarter they close out, not like a veteran team. I'm sorry, man. The Raptors don't look like the Raptors of last year. Has gotten in the playoffs now. Teams are 0 and in on them. They don't have anyone that can really play one-on-one ball, get their own basket. It's pretty much all Kyle Lowry trying to pick a mismatch on the pick and roll here, Teddy. What you got on this game, my guy?
So if you're drafting in this series, let's say you say, all right, I want to take the top 3 guys in Toronto, Boston. All 3 are Celtics. Mm-hmm. All right. You want Browne, Tatum, and Walker. Maybe make a case for Lowry. Maybe. I'd probably draft him 4th, or maybe Siakam 4th and Lowry 5th. If you're talking about winning this series, the top 3 guys are all on the one team, and they open as an underdog in this game, off a loss. So, in my mind, it was a no-brainer. Unfortunately, for those who are watching the show now, I mean, this line hasn't just moved. I mean, we have a switch of favorites now. It was all Boston was the underdog at the open. Now they're minus 1.5. And we're even seeing, there's some 2s popping up in some leading indicator books. The wise guys all over the Celtics here. I certainly understand the concept and don't disagree with that concept. I think Boston is the better of these 2 teams. And Toronto getting that, and let's give them all the credit in the world. Let's give Lowry. I mean, it was Lowry's pass. Mm-hmm. That was as well executed a play as I've ever seen, to make that miracle shot. Nobody ever makes that shot, and they did. The interesting thing to consider here is not the talent. It's the mentality of Boston. Boston now is facing their first adversity of any kind in the postseason. They had a game they thought they won. They thought they were in control of the series. And lo and behold, boom, miracle shot. Now you're in a dogfight. If you don't win it today, you're in a real dogfight. Are the Celtics mature enough to put game 3 in the rearview mirror? Or is Boston going to be hung over here? That's my biggest worry about the Celtics, is their mentality, not their talent level. Because they are, in many ways, still a very young team, not a team that has the type of experience of bouncing back in these spots. So that's my biggest concern about Boston. But I continue to think Boston's going to win the series. And I continue to look at the series as, if I'm playing a game in this series, I'm on the Celtics. I'm not on the Raptors.
Got you. Real quick, gotta go Teddy here. Quote from Marcus Smart. We still haven't played our best basketball yet, so for us, that's a good thing. Tomorrow should be one of those days where we just come out and play and get every loose ball that we can and really just fight our way to try to get a win. And one more from my guy Jaylen Browne. He's pretty much like, that was a fucking disgrace. I couldn't put it in the article, but that was a fucking disgrace. We gotta be better. I'll put that one on me. You know what I'm saying? He pretty much said, we're fucking pissed and we're not losing next game. And I gotta bet that it is what it is. What you thinking? Junior's not with us today, man. But what's up, Junior? What you?
Yeah, I mean,
what you like, Junior?
First of all, I want to say I think the Celtics win in 6. I don't really care what PJ Browne has to say because he's the one who left OG Anunoby open. So of course he's going to say that. I'm taking the Raptors in the first half because of the price, plus 105. I think that the Raptors. And again, I'm probably swayed by the fact that I watch all their interviews because, local TV, they report on the Raptors. The Raptors seem pretty confident going into this game. They feel like they got away with one, and they want to take advantage of the fact that they find themselves in a position where they win this game. Now it's a best-of-3 series, and anything can happen. And I really, really believe, just from listening to the coach, this is just me. I'm not going into analytics or anything. This is just what I believe. I really believe that they look at Miami being 3-0 up on Milwaukee and think to themselves, the path to the NBA Finals just got a lot easier if we can tie up this series. So I think that Raptors come. What?
It's a big if, Junior.
Right. No, of course. But this is the thing. I think that I'm not as concerned about how the Raptors have looked because I've seen them play badly so many times, and they're just able to shake it off once they figure out a couple of things. Now, obviously, the elephant in the room is Pascal Siakam. Is he ever going to have a good game in the bubble, let alone the playoffs? Because he literally has not had a good game in like a month. So he's MIA. But this is the thing that makes me believe the Raptors could actually, win another game and will win another game and ultimately lose in 6. They're still holding the Celtics to 105 points a game. So it's not like the Celtics are shooting the lights out or it's an unattainable situation for them to win a game. The Raptors just got to get 110 points, and they're in this. They've held the Celtics to really low scores. The Celtics have shot the ball much better than they have at any point during the season. I don't think they can keep that up, and I don't think the Raptors are going to keep missing shots. I told y'all last game, Kyle Lowry and Van Vliet are going to show up, and they combine for 57. They're going to show up again today because those guys – they got the little man syndrome. They always play it with a chip on their shoulder. They're going to show up. They just need one other guy to show up. It's going to be Pascal. It's going to be OG. It's going to be Norm Powell. Somebody just has to step up. But in this specific spot, I think off the momentum of last game, listen, the Celtics quotes, we all heard them. Celtics are talking a lot of shit. I don't really know why.
Raptors are too, brother. Two sides of it. Raptors talking shit too. Fred Van Fleet talking about they fucked us. I mean, it's always two sides of it, Junior.
Yeah,
nothing's guaranteed. But I'm not telling. I was on the Raptors game 3, and they looked terrible. And they needed, after all that, they needed a game-winning shot to win it. Now, I agree with you. You could carry the momentum. That could spark you. You know what I'm saying, to kind of tie this game up. But in my opinion, the Raptors just don't. This is strictly me watching the games, schematically wise, the Raptors have nothing against the Celtics. They have to do it with their defense. One thing I say, their defense, when the Raptors go to the zone, that has affected the Celtics there a little bit. But if they're hitting their threes, that neutralizes it. So I think the Celtics gonna win this game, man. I think that they shouldn't have lost the last one. It could have easily been a sweep. The Raptors have pretty much gotten exposed. They don't have a one-on-one player. They don't have that go-to guy. It's not Lowry. It's not Van Fleet. Them guys are too short. Siakam, where he is. So, yeah, you're going to need OG to carry that over. He pretty much just got hot from that same spot. That's why they ran that play from three. Yeah, hit 3 threes from that same spot, man. So, I still think the Celtics are a much better team. You got Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Kemba Walker. I think those are the top 4 players in this on the floor. So, I mean, I like the Celtics tonight. Should have won last game. They're pissed. I guess you could say the Raptors could even up, and it'll be a whole new series. But the Celtics know that. They got to put their foot on their neck today. Nothing is guaranteed. I don't like as much as I like the Rockets yesterday, but I am on the Celtics today to come out and smack their ass and put the Raptors back in their place. Last year, you had a good run. You're the defending champs, but you're getting put back in your place, 3-1, and you're probably going to be ready to go to the house. Bye-bye, Lowry. Bye. I'll see you later. That's the last thing I got to say about it. Any closing remarks, say, before we get to the next one?
I'm sorry, Jay?
No, I was saying anything else you had to say about this game, Raptors Celtics.
So I agree wholeheartedly. I do think Boston takes the 3-1 lead today. I'm not thrilled with the number. The interesting thing to consider in this one is the total. We're sitting at 214. Not the interesting thing. Another interesting thing is the total sitting at 214. And both of you guys have been talking. The Celtics haven't played a great offensive game. The Raptors haven't played a great offensive game. Junior's talking if Toronto gets to 110, they feel good. Is this the over? Because we've seen under. I mean, under's been money here in the second round. I wouldn't be surprised if this one ends up being a little bit higher scoring.
Yeah, man, the total finally dipped too, Ted. It might be the time for you to, you know what I'm saying? We saw it, it was 215 first couple games. The last game, it got steamed all the way up to 217.5. Now we're seeing adjustment is down to 214, 213. What you think about that, Junior? It sounds like you think that maybe the Raptors going to get to 110 here or play a little bit faster. That definitely bodes well with the over, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, the last game was a little bit faster. But I would say that I really think that this is going to be a scrappy game. I think both teams are just chippy to begin with. There's a lot of guys that just play on that edge. Kyle Lowry's right on that edge. You saw what he did to Aaron Gordon. Marcus Smart's always right on that edge. There's going to be a lot of chippiness in this series. These are division rivals. They play all the time. These teams don't really like each other too much. A lot of talking on both sides. It's hard for me to think that this is going to go over. And also, these are just two. I just think that the defensive effort. Jay, we talk about effort all the time. The defensive effort from both teams in this series has been amazing. These guys are playing lockdown defense on every single possession, and you love to see that. So, just kind of hard for me to think about the overs in the series.
Gotcha. Yeah, and it's two of the best defensive teams right now. I mean, I want that to say that's the only thing that's keeping the Raptors in, because I really do think the offensive woes, I don't think that's going to change. I don't think that's more of the Raptors being bad offense. I think it's more, if you watch the game, I think it's more of the Celtics making. I mean, what the Raptors like to do, the Celtics won't let them. And it's pretty much that simple. In my opinion, it's that simple. So anything can happen. The total did actually open up at 213 and has ticked up a point to 214. So it's some over money coming on that once again. Let's get to the next game.
Hold on, Jay. Looks like you got something you want to say.
Real quick, I want to say that if it's a chippy game, which I'm with you 100%, and the refs are calling fouls, that's great for overs.
Yeah, right.
No stat correlates more with totals than free throw attempts.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, if they're getting a bonus,
if you get all those points with the clock stopped, and the refs say, "Oh, this is a chippy game, we got to start whistling everything," that's great news for overbet.
But guys, let's just be clear though. If I really believed in the Raptors like that, I would take them full game because the price was right there. I'm just taking them first half because I like the price at plus 105. I don't see why they can't win the first half. Why can't they win the first half? Why? You know what I mean?
I got you. Yeah, I actually like the Celtics in the first half, just me personally, but it's not a slammer player or nothing, man. But I do like the Celtics today to come out high and never look back on. But anything can happen. I did want to mention one thing to Mark Davis. It's worth. I feel like it's worth mentioning, but they are with the lead ref Mark Davis. The Raptors are 8-0 in the past 8 playoff games with him. So I don't know if they inserted him to try to even up the series. Me and Teddy was talking about this before, but I mean I've seen some kind of fishy stuff going on with Scott Foster here lately, and it hasn't been working. So it's only so much you can do to try to, put your imprint on the game. It's only so much you can do. If the other teams don't hit shots, you're sitting there looking like a dumbass. Somebody lost some money because they're. But anyway, get to this next game, man. I think this is a real interesting game, and I really didn't start really heavily thinking on it till this morning, but I really feel like this one's kind of being shaded up a little too much. So we know that, and I have Clippers -6.5 on the neutral floor versus the Nuggets. I know they looked terrible in the first game. You have to take into account that they came off their grueling 7-game series. They had 3 straight game 7s pretty much. They was down 3-1, had to come all the way back. You only had 1 game in between, which I still don't look at that as much because you still had a day to rest with no travel. So I don't think you should be that gassed, but it was a mental toll on them. Now it's game 2 after getting blown out. I just think the Nuggets going to have a little bit better effort yet. I hadn't taken them, but I mean, it's steady going up plus 9.5. Might touch 10 with the Nuggets here. Teddy, what do you think? The Nuggets don't get blown out once again? Do you think they're that much overmatched to the Clippers? Because I really feel like that it was a higher point spread in game 1 because of the situation. In this game 2, we don't have this situation, but the same point spread, and we know the public is going to run heavy to go bet the Clippers because of what happened in game 1. Teddy,
I mean, the numbers I'm showing are pretty close to 50-50 in terms of the consensus numbers on this game. I haven't seen any numbers that show that everyone wants to lay this price with the Clips. But there was something that happened in game 1 that concerns me enough in terms of a matchup issue that I'm not looking to back Denver today, even off the blowout loss. And it's not like I'm going to lay with LA. But for a good 24, 26, 28 minutes of that ballgame, when the Clips were, from about the end of the first quarter through when it was blowout city in the fourth, the Clips defense was unsolvable for the Nuggets offense. And Denver was taking advantage of a Utah team that had some really good defensive numbers, but the adjustments necessarily weren't there. The Clippers defense is the best, certainly in the West, it's the best standing, by a pretty wide margin. And if LA can get out and guard Denver shooters and they're not getting up anything in the low post, every look for the Nuggets is going to be difficult. And they weren't getting the foul calls in game 1. But it's not like they've had an extra day of rest for this game. It's the 2 days, every other day, get back on. Every other day, get back on. They don't have any chance to do any exhale. All right, I'm going to get my body right. I'm going to get this right. I'm going to get that right. I worry about Denver moving forward. And after getting bombed, I'm not fading them coming after they got bombed in game 1 because they're a character team. We expect them to step back up. But yeah, Malone ripping the NBA because he can't visit his family. The writing on the wall is already there. Denver's not winning the series. I'm not looking to back the team that's not going to win the series. And I really worry about the Clippers' ability to shut Denver down. So I guess all that being said, it's a pass on the side for me. Total-wise, I can only look under. The Nuggets went 13-1 to the over. And that was then, and this is now, and the markets have adjusted, and Denver unders, I think there might be some value there.
Got you. It'll be interesting to me to see for me, Junior, if the Clippers pretty much bring that morale, pretty much bring that mindset that you want to blow them out every time. We saw after the game 1 versus the Mavericks. Not saying that the Nuggets can compare up with the Mavericks, but we just kind of see the Clippers kind of after a game where, obviously game 1, they'll come in and want to smack them up, send a message. But game 2, it kind of seems like they, we kind of come in like it just seems like the Clippers. Then they come in with lethargic the next game, and then they come out motivated. It seems like a pattern. You see with the Mavericks, I've seen it all season with the Clippers, but it's the playoff times now. Maybe Kawhi's like, hey, we got to take every game serious, but they didn't do that versus the Mavs. Even when Porzingis went out, they, let them boys hang around, they build a lead. Mavs come all the way back, Junior. So my mindset is wondering about the Clippers. I guess you could say motivation for them to win this game by 10 points once again.
I just think that this is actually a wait and see for me in terms of just the Clippers' overall picture, because I think that you're absolutely right with there's sometimes lack of, I'm not going to say effort, but they just seem like they think, oh, if we'll just show up and we're just going to win because we're more talented than the other team. I think that definitely happened to them at least once in the Mavs series. Something that Teddy said really stood out to me, because I only watched that game. I was really tired when that game was on, so I didn't really watch it, but I watched it this morning when I woke up. Paul George is guarding Jamal Murray. And then when Paul George goes out, Kawhi Leonard's guarding Jamal Murray. And then they bring Patrick Beverley off the bench, and then he could possibly guard Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray is going to have a rough time getting going in this series. I'm going to tell you that right now. If I'm Denver, and even, sorry, I was just about to say something, and then I saw the answer to what I was about to say. I was just about to say you should put the ball in Jokic's hands like you do in a regular season and run the offense through him. But I'm sure you guys noticed early in that game, they started blitzing Jokic. Every time Jokic would catch the ball high, they would run a second guy at him, and he's not a selfish player. He's going to make the right play. You blitz him, he's going to make a pass, but it's accomplishing what the Clippers want, which is the ball is not in Jokic's hands. So they got 2, possibly 3 lockdown defenders for Jamal Murray that don't need help. They can just guard him one-on-one, and then they're blitzing Jokic. Mike Malone is going to have to make some adjustments. And if there's one criticism that I do have of Mike Malone, because I actually think he's a good coach, doesn't really change what he does. It took him a long time to make adjustments in that Utah series for the way that they defended that pick and roll. And I think that in this game, in my opinion, they should probably start another ball handler just so that Jamal Murray doesn't have to work as much to get going. That's just my opinion, though. But I just think that defensively, like Teddy said, the Clippers looked locked in. And then finally, the other reason why I just can't take the points with Denver, their second unit is just overmatched against the Clippers' second unit. When Lou Williams and Montrez is out there, and then, Marcus Morris is balling. You got Jermichael, whatever his name is, hitting. I mean, they just got a lot of pieces that Denver does not. I can't trust Denver right now after what I saw, specifically, as Teddy said, because of the defense that I saw. Once I seen Paul George start on Murray, I was like, oh, okay. But then once I seen Kawhi guarding him, I was like, oh, this is a problem. This is a legit problem right now. I don't know what you think, Jay, but
yeah, I mean, it's just one game. It's just one game. So, I mean, that's the only thing I'm saying. And Teddy, I wasn't saying necessarily the tickets. I'm saying this is how a lot of people bet. And I talked to a lot of – they're going to look at game one. The Clippers blew them out by 23 points, and it's going to be easy. I'm telling you, this is what I've been hearing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you, that's what the average bettor, not us, even people in chat, they're more sharp than that. But the average bettor is going to look. The Clippers smacked them. It was never even game, and they're going to do it again. It's going to be simple, and I just don't think it's that simple. I really do think in the point spread, like I said before, I really think it was because of that, because they just came off a game series, and then we've seen how they got blown out by 23, which I'm glad. And then now you're going to see around the same point spread. I just feel like it's a little bit more of a spot where I think the Nuggets will come more. You saw in the first quarter they could kind of hang with them, and then after they kind of sort of just ran out of gas. And I got to disagree with you there, Junior. I think all year you kind of been you've been disrespecting the Nuggets bench. I'm not saying they can hang toe for toe with the Clippers, but I still view the Nuggets as one of the deepest teams in the league now. I mean, and Gary Harris can, have a little backup point guard as well. I mean, they still got Monte Morris as well, but Gary Harris back now. He's not just a defensive guy. He can run point guard as well, shooting guard. I'm just saying, I don't think that in this particular game, Clippers, the way that they've shown, I just think maybe they come out here and win this game by 5-6 points. That's just the way I don't think it's going to be an easy blowout for the Clippers like it was the last game. A lot of people going to think it like that. You have to take into account that the Nuggets just came off their game 7 series. Now they've had a game under their belt to at least watch some film. I mean, like I said, you still have a full day of rest with no travel. So in my opinion, this isn't like before where you don't, where you're traveling all over the place or playing in the home gym. 9.5 on a neutral court. I mean, after you getting smacked by 23 points, I feel like the lines makers have this line as this last game. And I really think, because you saw with the Lakers game, it's a few points higher than it should have been because the team's coming off game 7. So it's really me just really being contrarian. I hadn't betted. It's the only way I'm looking at this game, and I'm not looking at Clippers. I mean, I was really close to taking the Nuggets. I really would. And it's me trusting myself. I really think that they're going to come out here and lose this game by 6, 7, 8 points.
So I half agree with you, and I half agree with Junior. Let me start with this. I'm with you on Denver's bench. All right. And Michael Porter, he missed every shot. He missed every three-pointer. He did not have a good game. Torrey Craig can play off the bench. Plumlee gives him good minutes off the bench. I don't think, while the Clippers bench is elite, I think Denver's bench is elite. I don't see that as a long-term problem in the series for the Nuggets. However,
the starters.
If you want to talk maybe the best bet of all today, all right, what about Jamal Murray under? I haven't seen the point total, but he was 24.5 for game one. He finished with 12, and I know he didn't play in the fourth quarter. But I would, and again, I haven't seen the number, but considering the defensive matchups against him.
It's 22.5.
22, that's.
I don't know. And more rest for Murray.
Yeah.
With a blowout, even more rest.
I was hoping it would be higher. Nonetheless, I could only play that under. Murray under. I'm not going to call it maybe the best bet in the game, but game one, that was the best bet. The best bet was Murray under. And game two, it's a bet that I would certainly consider.
I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see if PG and Kawhi, because we saw PG and Kawhi guarding Luka. I'm not saying that they're the same players, but they had some trouble with Luka dunks on that step back three. So if Murray is hitting the threes, or if he can get a pick and roll matchup, I'll be honest, man. I don't think that the Clippers are going to win this game by 10 points. I don't have enough to bet, but I got a real tricky feeling about this one. And it's not even the Nuggets. It's the Clippers, man. I've seen it too many times. Oh, we'll come out and win 3 or 4 points. You still up 2-0 in the series. We are bettors. We're betting numbers, not teams. Teddy know this, man. So I'm just looking at it. Take the team name off, man. The first game, which they lost by 2. They still kind of showed some fight during the fourth quarter. They just totally give up. They could have lost that game by 40. They really could have. And so the starters got some risk. I'm talking too much about this game for a guy that didn't have a bet on it, but I was there close. My local might give me 10. I might put a little sprinkle on it, man. I really think they lose this game 7-8 points all day long. They'll show some fight here. I don't think they're just gonna mail it in yet. They'll try to even up the series tonight, and if they don't, they might just mail it in. But I think they're gonna show a lot more fight tonight. That's the last thing I got on this game. Junior, want to recap what your plays, my guy, before we get out of here?
Yeah, for sure. I don't have anything on this game, just because I don't trust the Clippers enough, like Jay mentioned, just because of some of the attitudes we've seen from them in the past. I don't trust them enough to lay. Essentially, they got to win by 10 points here. Although I do think that this game is going to be an indication of who they're going to be for the rest of the playoffs. Like if they come out looking like they did in game one, then it's all business for the Clippers from now until they meet the Lakers, if the Lakers can get out of their series. But in terms of this game, like I said, I'm just betting the price and the situation. I think the Raptors will come out with a little momentum from the last game, feeling good about themselves. They ain't worried about these Celtics. Now, the Celtics are going to win the series. I really believe that in 6 games. But I like the Raptors in this game, plus 105 first half.
Got you. What's up, Teddy? What's up, brother? What we cashing with today? When I tell y'all Teddy is red freaking hot, you know what? You touch him, he's going to go, I ain't playing, man. What's up, Teddy? What you got?
I'm due to have something go wrong. Let's be honest. I cashed a lot.
Not today.
You got to be honest, man. The coin flip games have gone in my direction, but it's been a real good run, no question, Jay. I know you and I text almost every night now, and I enjoy it, and I appreciate your feedback. But I'm on Boston. I'm on Boston, a better number than the current number. Obviously, I got them as an underdog at the open, but I like the Celtics today. And if they lose, I'll come back with Boston in Game 5. This is to me, it's a 2-bet sequence. I'm on the Celtics today, and then. It's almost like sometimes you bet a baseball series. You're like, all right, I'm going to bet that I know the dog's going to win in this series. I want to cash the dog. So you bet him on Friday. You bet him on Saturday. Oh, crap, the dog didn't win. All right, I'm going to bet him one more time on Sunday. I'm on the Celtics today. I'm prepared to be on the Celtics as well in Game 5 if they lose today. Maybe I'll be on them if they win today. But if they lose today, you can count on me on being on.
Win or lose, I'm with you, Teddy. I'm on the Celtics on Monday. You could book that already.
Book it.
Boston in 5. Check the shirt out, man. We got to get out of here. We're going to be back on Monday. No show tomorrow, man. Celtics today for me, man. Full game. I like them to win by more than 2 or 3 points, man. So I know the lines flipped. It was +1 last night. At 1.5, I'm still about to go and hop on them. The Celtics full game. I like them. They're a much better team. They didn't always. Nothing's guaranteed, guys. Anything can happen. The Raptors, obviously, I mean, they're defending. You never count out the heart of a champion. They are defending champs. They could, you know what I'm saying, tie this thing up 2-0. They do kind of sort of have a ref in there that's probably going to help them out, but that hadn't always mattered. I'm taking the better team in this one. Much better matchups, the better offense, and I think the better defense as well versus the Raptors. Marc Gasol, boy, you better get your head out. That boy cannot hang. He cannot keep big butt. You cannot hang out there, man. Lowry, he gonna have to carry y'all boys, man. I got the Celtics tonight, man. We're gonna try to get this cash, pick up cash, try to, you know what I'm saying, get some more, man. So we're gonna get out of here. Make sure y'all hit the like button and subscribe if you guys like the content. That's my guy Teddy Covers. Go and follow him on Twitter. That's my guy Junior Browne, and I'm Jay Money, man. We appreciate y'all for jamming with Jay Money. Let's take.